All right, so this video focuses on two things. One of my favorite apps, probably top 3 for me on iOS, is Koala. Everybody knows that. And this is, so I have in here, but you can't hear it, but I have in here some kicks. I have a whole track I made in here, but I'm just showing you the features in there. Okay, so I'm going to use those to demonstrate this purpose. This is a basic USB-C to USB-C cable hooked to the computer. And the purpose is that you can use your iPad as an instrument into to your MacBook if you have one. What's cool about that is, especially if you have the newer MacBook, at least the M1, and this is an iPad mini 6 I'm using, you can use the universal feature from there, which I don't have it turned on right now, where you can go over, you can see my mouse here, you can go over, and if your iPad is close enough, you can actually go over and pull stuff off. I'm hoping that they add the feature to Koala where you can drag like the files directly off here and drop them into like a location. And this will be a great purpose for it, what I'm about to do, but also with the new logic that's on there, being able to do that would be amazing. So let me show you the IDAM thing that you can use. The way you set that up is you have to go into your audio MIDI settings and enable the iPad. You'll see it right down here. Once it's enabled, it will recognize the iPad is there under your settings. So on the input, you see iPad. There you go. And then there, you can change that if you want. So I'm just going to leave it for right now. So right now you don't hear anything. You have to set up an audio track and then hit record and auto. Now that sound is coming through here, and you can watch it over on this side and see. Or like if I play the sequence, turn the volume up. So it's pretty much as loud as it's gonna get right now. All the volume now will come from the computer, the master volume. Okay, so you can record that in. So like in this case, this sequence is 84 BPM, so you'd set this to 84. It's really easy with Ableton, because Ableton works really well with audio. That's what it does. Okay, leave the external in. We'll start a clicker here, and then I'm just going to show you. Run it through for 8 bars. You don't have to worry about it going up being perfect. Let it go a little bit over. Okay. All right, cool. Then I can zoom in, look at the audio. It's good. It's pretty much hit on the one. That's good. Come over here, capture this end, and delete that. Okay. And then go Command J. Boom, that consolidates it. And now you have a perfect loop. Hold it, touch on it, hit Command L, and it loops out that section. Turn the record off so you can see it's just playing here. Nice. Okay, now what does that mean? Well, this is what it means right here. Let me show you. Insert a new audio track, hit OK, and hit auto. I'm going to mute this one by turning that off over here. If you want to record in a track, you can go back to the beginning or wherever you want to go. Hit the record. Just like you have an SP or an MPC or whatever you want to call it, whatever your machine of choice is. If you need to make adjustments, like because maybe your notes are a little bit off, you can always do some warp markers. Pretty simple. Just adjust a note slightly, nudge it, so that way it's on. Maybe it was just a little off for your taste, or not. Now I have that kick really loud. I got the snare kind of soft. So you could always make adjustments in the iPad and turn your kick down if you want. Now, if you wanted them separate, I've done this with the SP before. You can pretty much make 2 copies, cut out the kicks and snares. You can do it that way, or you can do it the other way, which is probably the easier way if you don't want to play. If you want to play them separate, I'm going to turn the snare up just a little bit. So just play your snare first. Let me turn on the click this time. That will help. Okay. Delete that section. Now you have a perfect section for the, there's your hat or snare. All you have to do is duplicate the one that you have there, delete that. Now just go ahead and do your kicks. And don't do what I just did, which is record on the wrong track. Let's try that again. Boom. Now you got that done. Now let's say you want to do your hats. And you want to put that in. So there's insert. We're going to go record. Make sure you do it the right way this time. Talking to myself there, that is. I like to put my kicks up front. Now, I'm a label guy. Some people don't care about that, but I like to label stuff. So go ahead and label, rename. I'm going to name this one snare. This one I'm going to rename to hats. And then I'm a color guy too, so I like to color it. So red, I usually do all my drums in red. So I'll put all these in red. And usually if you name these tracks before you do this, then you wouldn't have to go name it here. But since I didn't do that, I just recorded it in. Now I will be forced, in this particular one, some of them, like I think Logic allows you to name it based on what you named over here. But this one doesn't, as far as I know. I may be mistaken on that. But you'll see right here, I did hat. So let's do the hats together. Here we go. Got it already armed. I'm going to set up the, turn the hats on and use the note repeat, which I really love in Logic. And I don't like it in Logic. I like it in Koala is what I was trying to say. Okay, you got all that on. You got to turn on auto. Okay, cool. Let's start that off by hitting record. Don't like it, want to do it over, hit Command Z. That's actually in Logic on desktop. It works in Ableton too. Do it over. Cool. Done. This is my new method of how I'm going to be recording a lot of stuff until we get the drag and drop feature coming out of Koala. I'm going to use Koala as the instrument, as if I have a drum machine. Now, I do have an SP. Probably won't have it for long. Love the SP dearly, but I'm in need of a good interface. I like to play my guitar, my bass, and I don't like, it's not that the interface on the SP is bad. It's just not as quality as I would like it to be. So I'm getting something to replace that, and I'm going to have to get rid of something. I can't afford to keep everything. So that's kind of normal in most people's daily life, unless you're, getting the hand delivered stuff for free. And I'm not, so I have to part ways with certain things, and that's okay. I can still answer questions from what I know, and I know a lot about it because I've been using it for a good little minute. So I kind of learned most of the tricks of the trade. So don't stress on that. And Koala still has that same, in my opinion, has a very similar workflow. Koala is easier, and Koala is, I think the sequencer in Koala is better, and I think the note repeat, I know the note repeat is better because the note repeat or roll, whatever they call it, in the SP is just no good. I don't know what that is. I don't know what they were thinking when they made that. They got to fix that. But anyway, that's a whole nother story and nothing I can worry about. All right, so check it out. Then if you want to add in, hold on, where is it? I'm going to add in one more and put some perks in there. All right, I'm going to add that in, but I'm going to do it, this time I'm going to do it as solo. Okay. Take a peek at it. It's pretty on, looks good. Then just hit Command D, that's duplicate it. And now I'm gonna put everything back, turn off the record, and it should sound good. Insert audio. This one's gonna be blue. I'm gonna call this one keys or chords. Boom. This one's gonna be perk. Okay, and I'm gonna put it red. Same thing here. I'm gonna go get these, and I'm only gonna do one. It don't make sense to do this twice. So I'm gonna just label it red, rename this one to perk. Cool. And duplicate it. Sweet. I'm gonna take this click off now because it'll drive me crazy. I think it still clicks if I'm not mistaken on the first one. Let's go. Yeah. All I need is a click for the count in right now. Cool. And then I am gonna go and put in, I could do the chords right now. All right, here we go. All right, so let me do that over, because sometimes when you try to loop something, and you try to hit it and it don't hit right, then you got to do it over. So I'm going to do it over. All right, and the reason I wanted to do that so spot on is because that's a perfect loop I made. And I feel like if I do that, it would be a lot easier. Okay, let's do the bass. So I'm pretty much showing you how you can do the whole song. And I'm using just the iPad into the computer as just basically as this my MPC or whatever you want to call it. So let's do that. Or SP, however you want to turn it. This is the bass. Okay. By the way, these instruments, these keys did come from a EXS file that I made from Logic and using Auto Sampler. But it's basically Spitfire audio stuff that I bought. And then the bass is a Trillion bass that I use pretty commonly. And it is, I sampled it to record it. So it is what it is. It's all me playing. It's just, you know, a sample. All right, cool. Let's go. As I say, let it play all the way out. Done. Command D. Because this works so well with audio, in my opinion, that's why I love Logic. I mean, Logic. I think I've heard Logic so much in these past couple weeks that, you know, past 4 weeks or so that I'm like, my brain keeps saying Logic, but I really mean Koala as well as Ableton. they're both great with audio. I mean, that's what they do. That's their strengths, right? So there you go. There's a whole song. I'm going to delete this one, and we'll just keep the song as it is arranged here. Now I'll play it back for you. There you go. So you saw how quick that was. Get your USB-C cable to USB-C. Hook up your iPad to your, if you don't, if you're not going to get Logic or, whatever you want to use. But to me, and this is my method until we get the drag out, audio out of Koala drop mode. Because then I could just drop it in straight into to Logic if I have that and just arrange the song. So now I'm at the point where I can arrange, I can do my dropouts, whatever I want to do. I can add more if I'm in a DAW, right? Because I have more options in here. So yeah, it's kind of cool. And then I can start mixing and whatever I want to do. So just the way I like to work, and just a little bit of game that you could use maybe for you. If you want to put it to work, grab your stuff, your gear, and maybe start thinking now more about the iPad as if you have a MacBook and you don't have an iPad, you start thinking about the iPad as your drum machine or sampler, as an instrument, right? Now you can do some cool things too. Like this is just Koala because I like Koala, but you can use other iPad instruments. So I basically, can show you. You just go into AUM and close out. Let me close out Koala is what I was trying to do. All right. You can go to AUM and let's say you have your favorite, like for instance, these are really expensive. They're expensive on the iPad, but they're really expensive. You try to get them on the computer, and that's Swarm Instruments. So let's say you have, but you were able to get them on the iPad. Get yourself that Swarm instrument, a little controller on the iPad, right? Connect those two. I like the sequence keys. I think I mentioned it in the last one. Connect your sequence keys. And then now, and two, remember too that now the Swarm Instruments has a playable mode in them, if that makes sense. So you don't really have to go in AUM if you don't have AUM. You don't have to do that. I'm going to pull up a audio track here, just show you what I'm talking about. And for some reason, it's not opening. Let me make sure I did this right. Yes. And yep, IDAM is hooked up. Cool. Set to auto. Now I'm getting no volume. How about it? What do you know? What did I do? Something I did. Oh, you know what? I opened this when I had Koala open and it tried to Ableton link it or whatever. So let me do this again. Because I know it works, so that's what I'm saying. Let's see if I reopen it and then open it, if that'll help it. What's weird is that I know this thing has its own mode to be able to. There we go. Oh, I know what it was doing. Okay. Because like most horns, they only have a certain. There we go. I gotta find it on here. So if you're on an iPad and it's big enough, you can do a play mode. Here, let me show you this. I'm sitting there doing all this. Right? So you don't even need this other controller sequence. Right? Because you don't have to have that. You could just go straight into it, open it up, expand it up, and you can expand it a little further if you've got fat fingers like me. You get your vibrato. And this one's not assigned for the XY. I usually put a pitch bend on there. All right, so now let's go play this beat. Let's play this beat, and then we'll play it. All right. So wait, before I do that, you got to know which key you're in too, because obviously if you just start doing this, it's gonna sound bad if you start playing random notes. So I don't even remember what key I was in for this. Let me see if I can figure it out real quick. Give me 1 second as you hang tight for me. I don't remember what I called this song. So I'm gonna have to go back in here and try to see if I can remember what the name of it was. Okay, cool. I'll just open up, I think I made a AUM because I started an AUM with this. So let's open up a session. And I think I have the session right here, which will help me to remember what I did for the key. So give it a second, it's loading up right now. And then I'll pull up the key so I can remember. I can listen and probably figure out the key, but I don't want to do that on camera right now. I think it'd be better. Yeah, 84 is fine. All right, if I just go in here and pull the key up and tell you what it was. All right, B minor to D, or D major. B minor or D major. Let me add in the Swam saxophone here, and we will use this one. I'm going to remove this right here. IDAM out. There we go. By the way, let's see here. Hit the play. Put the pitch bend on. It's already there for us. Sweet. I'm going to lengthen these keys up a little bit. All right. And I said, what did I say it was? It was B minor or D. Okay. So then we'll pull up this. I'm going to learn. What I'm doing is learning the scale real quick. So bear with me as I pull this up. B minor. Boom. All right. Scale is C sharp. So C sharp, D, E. C sharp, D, E. Okay, perfect. I got those notes. Let me see what the last four are. C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G, A, B. So F sharp, G, A, B. Okay. Perfect. Now let's just play something to this. I'm just going to make some up. Nope, that's wrong notes. All right. I mean, you see, even I'm learning too at times. I have to look back and learn. So cool. So you learn the scale. Now these are, you could make these, they have this little resize thing. I think these are the mediums. I might have to go with the large for my abilities to play. But if I'm using this, then yeah. So I would use the larger keys, maybe the medium, and stick with that. If you can stretch the app as far as you can, you get the most usage. And if you rocking with the mini, you know we ain't got a lot of space on there. So anything from the Air, the 11 Pro, or the 12.9 Pro, you're gonna be good on space. So we're doing good. So we're using this as the instrument, computer as the DAW, and now you're getting the best of both worlds. And it's super worthy to do this because you'll learn to play an instrument by doing this way. I know it sounds crazy to say because you're not holding a physical, but like if you have to play something in and do it this way, it helps you to grow, like with music in general. So there you go. Just wanted to show you that. That's a cool way to do it. The universal audio control or universal control is really sweet feature. If we ever get that, it's gonna be even easier because you're not recording like this. Maybe you build it all in Koala, right? And then you just drop that, just dragging across the screen and dropping in pieces. Or if you're on the iPad only, then all you're doing is just dropping in your stuff. Put your Koala in slide over mode. By the way, slide over mode is a little 3 dots up here. If you touch it, you'll see it offers you split view or slide over. Do the slide over, and now you do the slide over. It sounds like a dance move. All right, and now you have it right here. You touch it, you can bring it right back. Or you can put it in split view like that, like that. I'm trying to show you. Split view, if you have something to split with, there's nothing here to split with. But anyway, so you can literally perform your stuff in live and record into the DAW, or you can use it for, there's so many features this will work well with. So yeah, Koala on the iPad into the MacBook, whatever MacBook you have, should work with IDAM. I think I'm pretty sure IDAM only works on the M1s though. I'm not going to say it does on the Intel. I can't speak on that because I don't know. I had an Intel years ago, but I haven't had one recently, so I don't know. But anyway, take advantage of the tools you got and just make music, and that's what it's all about. All right, I'm out.